So it's basically saying that patience is going to be required of you for the next 2 weeks. So don't get anything started off the ground just yet. It's just the time to lay the foundation and to, really try to solidify your plans and to see what works and what doesn't and to be realistic, okay? So first off, let's talk about the foundation here. The foundation is usually, indicative of something that you know to be true. And it is something that is in your environment that might be a little bit difficult to change. You can change it. Usually it's something that's there that you have to navigate around or you have to work your way around. Uh, it's something very stable. It's just something that is the situation is built upon. Okay, so we do have the Seven of Wands in the reverse position. This is a card about defense. This is about valor, and it's basically standing up for the things that you believe in. When it's in the reverse position, I feel that a lot of you are acquiescing to the people in your environment. A lot of you are not becoming like the active participants in your own life. I feel this sense of isolation, either working at cross purposes with those around you and rather than standing up for the things that you truly believe in and are passionate about. A lot of you might take a passive approach and you don't want to kick up a storm, so you're going to be a little bit more taking more of a passive role. Okay, I feel that it would be really good for you. I feel to stand up. There is somebody in your environment that is overpowering you. So that's why it seems to me like you feel as if you are not getting your point across. You feel as if even if you were to stand up for yourself, the other person is so set in their ways that they're not going to hear what you have to say. And all the things that and the energy that you exert would fall on deaf ears. In terms of what brings you to the present situation here, we do have the Emperor in the reverse. So this is somebody who is a little bit tyrannical. They are quite difficult, stubborn to deal with. They can be somebody who is in a position of authority, but they use their authority to coerce rather than lead. Okay, so this is not a good leader that you have in your midst. If you're following the trail of somebody or if you're trying to pursue somebody, and this sounds familiar to you, somebody in a high position of power, or they are also in a position where they have a lot of influence and they have they have knowledge, expertise, and also a lot of influence, but they're not using that to empower other people. They're using it in a more powerful, coercive way. What's crossing this reading and what's affecting this person in your environment here is the Four of Cups. And I feel that this is somebody that you've had multiple run-ins with, and this is somebody potentially as a potential romantic partner. They're coming in and they're coming in very, very fast. It's a little bit of an ego energy where I feel like if it's a romantic partner and even if it's new, I feel that the information is a little bit jarring. It's a little bit, you don't, I feel like there's hesitation on your end to go ahead with it, and you feel like there's a little bit of a bully energy associated with their aura, okay? In the past position, we have the Fool card. A lot of you are trying desperately to start a new phase in your own life. And you're trying to break free from past situations. You're trying to start out with a clean slate. And for a lot of you, it is your birthday time. If you've been keeping yourself in isolation, you're trying to break out of it and you're trying to harness more energy to take control of your life and to also branch out, network with other people, market yourself in a different way, in a different light. I also feel like a lot of you are encountering some blockages here, mainly because it's basically indicating to me somewhat that you're headed the wrong way. I feel that it is really important for you to have a game plan before you get out there because deep down, you're still dealing with past regrets, past sorrows. As a result of it, I feel that you're not completely 100% comfortable in your own skin. And when you're outside mingling and socializing and trying to get projects off the ground, I feel that you're lacking in a little bit of self-confidence. So it would be really pertinent for you to do the preliminary background research before you get yourself out there, or get yourself in a mental space where you feel confident mentally, because I feel a lot of business transactions and discussions are going to be had. Even on the relationship front, if you're out there mingling and trying to date once again, I do sense that you just want to brush up on current events. Brush up on a few things so that you can have good conversation starters, okay? So it is time for elections. So, maybe that's something you want to brush up on, like politics, current events, current affairs, and things like that. I feel that it would provide a good foundation for you. But not only to brush up, but also, to take a stance, take a very, very strong stance. I feel that that's going to be beneficial for you. In terms of crowning your reading here, the crowning energy is basically something that we're thinking about, something that is affecting our environment because it's like weighing heavily on our minds. You have a lot of communication coming through for you, Pisces, and once again, I feel it is birthday time. So this energy is very normal. You have the Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Wands in this deck, it basically indicates like a lot of communication that is going to propel our life forward, and it is really swift, rapid communication. And I feel though there's a lot of situation where you are potentially online dating, and you're dragging on the conversation via the internet, and you're a little bit hesitant about meeting up with people. Trust your instincts on this. I feel like if the timing's not right, or if you feel a little bit funky, then just delay it. The ones that will adamantly pursue you are the ones that want to be there. They will still be around, okay? So if you're not feeling completely comfortable, or if you're not jiving with somebody's vibration, just put it on hold and see how sincere they are down the line, okay? I feel like there's a lot of interaction via the internet, via social media as well. And just, it could be old-fashioned telephone calls. But I do sense that these are not, deeply emotional communication. So I do sense it's more business oriented for a lot of you, or it could be, just in an online impersonal capacity. They might be wanting to meet you, but I feel like you're not just ready yet, or you're not there yet, okay? And I would advise you to just drag it out, because what's happening here, we have the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups, when it's in the upright position, it deals with basically fantasies. It deals with things that are not tangible just yet, opportunities that are out there, but you want to be very careful that they're good opportunities, okay? And they're true opportunities, rather than following dead ends and like false leads, okay? For those of you where this is in a business capacity, I feel somebody might be throwing some leads your way, and it's really up to you to contact these leads and to see which ones will pan out. But try to be assertive when it comes to communication. It is really important for you to stand up to somebody if you feel like you've been unfairly treated. It's also a situation where I feel like it's more about defense. There's a lot of swift communication coming through. You have to think on your toes, and you have to be very, very fast about how you react and the things that you say. So I feel like it's taking you out of your element just a little bit. I feel a lot of airy energy, like a lot of communication, air signs, and just, back and forth banter. And you have to be very just swift and quick on your toes, and to execute plans and make decisions, okay? So the Seven of Cups, when it's in the reverse, it basically means if you're putting other people on hold, those false choices are going to be dwindled down so that you can have the true thing. Now, what's in your advice position? We do have the Two of Wands, which is traditionally a relationship card. It is a relationship that is a little bit challenging to get off the ground. As you can see, the Two of Cups is like a relationship card too, but two people are connected and they are working in tandem with one another. Whereas with this energy, there's only one person showing up in the card, and it's kind of a relationship where one person puts in a lot more of the work and the other one is not contributing their fair share, or they could have, other things on their mind, and the relationship itself is not their priority. For those of you in coupled relationships, stable relationships, marriages, stable relationships, I definitely feel that there's a need for you to reconnect via expressing your needs, okay? If you've been slaving away working at a relationship, and you just you don't express yourself, and you don't really fight for the things that you want, I feel that this is the month for you to do that, and this is the month for you to voice your opinion. For those of you who are single and who are out on the dating market, I feel that the energy is very, very good for you. But I feel like the energies that you're encountering as well are a little bit more combative, are a little bit more I would say like it's more like philosophical, it's more intellectual. And the heart connection, like the emotional connection will be there further down the line, but I feel like for some reason the energy that comes in first for those of you who are single and dating is more cerebral, it's more intellectual, it's more like politics, current events, and things that are kind of like on the surface, things that require a little bit more analysis rather than making clear connections. So if you're meeting a lot of people and you're meeting them, and after like 4 or 5 dates with 4 or 5 different people, you're just like, I don't really have a strong emotional connection with any of them. And I'm going to tell you as well, persevere. The cards are indicating persevere, because it's going to take some time for these people in your midst to open up and get past those intellectual conversation in order to delve deep and have an emotional connection with you. Okay, what's in your external environment? We do have the Five of Coins, and the Five of Coins indicates some type of feeling kind of out of sorts, feeling uncomfortable, feeling a sense of it's like that whole. So this is coming in from your external environment, where you're potentially getting a lot of offers, and I feel like a lot of people are wanting to bring you out of your cave. If you've been hiding in isolation for whatever reason, due to work projects, due to financial issues, once again I feel that period ending, and you're getting a lot of invitations in order to get out and mingle and socialize and have fun and to enjoy your life and to celebrate your time of the year to shine. I also feel as well that you might also be solicited for financial assistance from people around you. If you've got people coming back from the past, possibly, people are pretty aggressive or adamant about this. Okay. So I feel like if you're dealing with an air sign specifically, there might be somebody coming to you for financial assistance. Okay. This is showing up as the Knight of Swords, and it's an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. The energy indicates to me swift, quick communication. And I feel almost like for a lot of you, this is somebody that you are emotionally invested in. It could be family as well. And the way it comes up is that I feel that you want to be very careful. Really stand your ground on this, and make sure you can take care of yourself first, because you're in no help to anybody if you can't even take care of yourself and you're like offering other people help. Okay, it just doesn't make sense. So just be very, very cautious about that. I definitely feel if you are seeing an air sign, or if you're like dating and you are really, really drawn to an air sign, I feel like the relationship might not be stable, where the other person is going to be constantly dashing in and out of your life. As a result of it, it's really difficult to build a relationship with this person. So just be careful about who you are eliminating too quickly, mainly because I feel there are a lot of good candidates around you. So just give it some time before you go through the whole elimination process, okay? Because I feel like you might be a little bit swept off your feet and taken away. And as a result of it, you might miss out on other good opportunities. Now, in terms of hopes and fears, we have the Death card in the reverse. So the Death card in the reverse, in terms of your fears, is people from the past coming up, not wanting to re-engage with another person, trying to emotionally move on, and feeling as if I want to move on and have other options. Or at least I want to, jump this ship and try to hop onto something else. But I feel almost as if I feel almost as if you might use other circumstances, other situations as a distraction in order to help you move on. And life doesn't really work that way. It basically requires you to mentally, emotionally move on in order for you to get new energies to come through for you. And it's funny, I got the same type of energy for another sign, same card. I feel in the exact same position. I feel that it might be Gemini. I feel it might be Gemini or Sagittarius. So, you might be dealing with a Gemini. Sun, Moon, or Rising as well. So what I'm sensing here is that you have opportunities to travel, you have opportunities to move forward, and I feel that it is important for you to look at this situation realistically and think about what it is you're trying to move on from and what changes you're trying to implement for yourself and how they're helping you, like how they're supposed to be helpful for you and how they're supposed to basically how they can be solidified so that you can move forward in a brighter light. Okay, in terms of your advice here, I'm sorry, the outcome position, it's telling you to slow down, basically. You're headed into something, and you're heading. I feel like for a lot of you, in terms of love situation, you're headed into the arms of an air sign. It feels like you're heading straight for them. They're coming for you, you're heading straight to them, and there's some blockages in between, in the middle. The blockage can just basically mean, I feel it's almost like what you see is not what you get, Pisces, so be a little bit wary and be a little bit cautious and just slow down a little bit, okay? I'm also feeling as if, you know, the Temperance card is in the traditional Rider-Waite, it is the angel, the angel bringing, conspiring, or at least maneuvering some things to bring this situation together, to bring two different elements together, to bring two different people together. So I feel like this is a good start. It seems to me like it can be a very, very good start. But I do want you to just slow down a little bit and, you know, examine all options before you proceed full steam ahead, okay? What I'm also feeling as well is that for those of you who are dealing with new air signs, they look pretty good. I feel that it can be an intellectually stimulating relationship that is going to break you out of your comfort zone a bit. They're going to be very, very good, like, I feel like a good sidekick or a good wingman, or I feel like it's just somebody, you know, like a good partner in crime, not in a literal sense, but just mainly somebody that you can really drive very well with. On the other hand, if this is an old energy coming back in, I normally don't advise going back to exes and letting people that we have dated and have been intimate with come back into our lives. I don't feel that it will pan out well the second time around, mainly because you've got the partnership card in the reverse position. So a lot of you are going through the dating process, and I do feel that things will be really good for you. So, you know, just branch out. Don't eliminate options just yet, okay, until possibly the very end of the month. We also have the High Priestess as well. And when I think about the High Priestess in this deck, I always think of it as usually a water sign. This is somebody who is very, very caring, loving, who is very detached as well. This is also a process of unveiling where you are basically seeing the true colors of somebody. If somebody is like coming back in, I feel like for a lot of you, financially, you're very stable right now, which is really good. You've built up your financial foundation. It's kind of like out of stability. It's like you're reaching the point where you're like finally able to exhale and you're like finally financially stable. And I feel that if other people are only coming in to solicit, you know, some type of financial aid or some type of monetary aid from you, you are going to have to be careful about how much you own versus how much you can give. So hold back a little bit for yourself, because I do feel you want to screen out the people and make sure they have legitimate needs and make sure they have ways to pay you in the end, okay? I feel like it is very other oriented and for good or bad. So make sure you choose, you try to like whittle down your company and make sure you keep only the good people around, okay? There's a lot of discussions about money. There's a lot of discussions possibly about movement, travel, as well as traveling for work, as well as like contemplating commute hours and things like that. I feel like a lot of you are waiting on communication as well from a very specific person. And I feel this person is coming back in from the past. So, you know, it is birthday time, and a lot of the times we want people, exes, to just to show that they care by contacting us and remembering our birthday and things like that. So these are things that are, you know, totally understandable, and they're human things. So I feel almost as if You might want that communication, and you feel you might be in limbo, you might be waiting for it. And I also feel as if, try not to put your life on hold for anybody, especially because you've got a lot of good things happening your way, coming your way at least. And you've got a lot of opportunities for dating, romance with new people coming into your life, okay? So I hope you are able to move away from this, and rather than putting yourself on hold, especially rather than putting your love life on hold, it would be really important for you to just move ahead with new energies and new people. All right, so I do wish you the best for the next 2 weeks, Gemini, excuse me, not Geminis, Pisces. So a lot of you might be dealing with Geminis.